Hey, good morning. Pete in North Las Vegas. We are north of Las Vegas. We are back out here at my usual spot. I'm waiting for the sun to come up. Not quite there yet, but I think we have enough light to talk about the rifles for a few minutes and explain why I'm out here today. If you're a repeat customer to the channel, you know that recently I discovered a problem with three brand new Wilson Combat bolt carrier groups. This one is a Wilson Combat. It's their unmarked non-logo version. This one here is brand new, never fired. This has about 20-30 rounds on it. And the other Wilson Combat I had trouble with was in a recent M4A1 retro build. And I was having the most trouble with that one. This one here was acting up. It was ejecting very inconsistently. It was all over the place. The M4 was the worst. And I got the M4 home and I tore the bolt apart, and what I found was an out of spec ejector spring. It was missing 3 coils. Mil spec is 27 coils. Free length mil spec is 0.926 inches. And this thing came in at 0.886. And like I said, it was 24 coils instead of 27 like it's supposed to be. So that spring was definitely out of spec. And that's what was causing the problem with the M4A1 Retro, which I had out here last week with a brand new Springco in spec spring, ejector spring, and it ran fine after that. So that was definitely the problem. Now, at the same time I originally had the M4 out, I had this one out. And I've had this build done for quite some time, but this one was acting up too. Wasn't quite as bad as the M4 because it's rifle length, so I think that may have made some difference. But yeah, it was all over the place. A lot of the rounds were going straight forward. Some of them were just being spit out barely, especially on the last round on an empty magazine. So we had a problem with this, the M4, and this brand new Wilson Combat BCG that I've never fired. And I tore all 3 of them apart, and I found ejector spring problems with all 3 of them. And the first one I looked at, the M4, was the worst. This one here only has 24 coils. And like I said, the free length on this was about 0.888 or 87 or something like that. So I didn't even count the coils on this one. I just measured the free length, and it was wrong. So I replaced this with a Springco, the M4 with a Springco, and this never fired BCG. I tore it apart and replaced it with a brand new Springco. So like I said, all 3 springs were out of spec or had something wrong with them. So I'm out here to retest this one and make sure that the new spring took care of it. And then this one here has never been fired. So we're going to test this out and get the sights roughed in. So that's what we're doing out here today. I'm not shooting for accuracy, although I do plan to rough in the brand new rifle at the standard 25 meters. And I generally don't worry about accuracy on brand new rifles. Most of the time on a brand new barrel, even the really high-end expensive stuff, it takes a few rounds through the barrel before it starts to shine. So initially I don't worry about it too much. Some rifles shoot like tack drivers right out of the box. Some rifles take 20, 50, maybe 100 rounds before the groups really tighten up. So we're just out here function testing today is what I'm trying to say. This first one here is a Criterion Hybrid, which is mostly considered a medium contour, but probably falls somewhere between medium and H-bar. Fulton Armory end cap, Fulton Armory gas tube. This is an H&R branded handguard, which is the correct round A2. Very good fitment. Had good luck with these H&Rs from Palmetto. Delta ring assembly is Fulton Armory. This is an H&R upper receiver and an H&R lower receiver. The pins are Aero Precision, Selector Aero Precision, all of the hardware, except the trigger is a Geisley SSP single stage. This is a Colt. And it's the older deep charcoal, really dark gray version, which is the ones I prefer. Fulton Armory, buttstock, tube, buffer, spring, metal trap door, This is a Colt charging handle and Fulton Armory rear sight. And this is the Wilson Combat BCG that I had trouble with the first time I had this rifle out. And like I was saying earlier in the video, replaced the spring on this, so we'll see what happens. All right, well, let's see where the brass goes. Not that it really matters today, but this is the junk I'll be shooting. All right, just want to see where the brass goes. Okay, first one came out at 3 o'clock. The second two came out around 3:30, maybe even closer to 4. We'll see where they landed. So here's the first one. That's right about 3 o'clock. These other two went 3:30, 4 o'clock in the same spot. I'm going to fire off a few more rounds. I'm happy with what's going on. It's doing way better than the first time I had it out here. So we'll fire a few more rounds just to make sure. All right, 3 more. As soon as I chamber a round. All right, proof is in the pudding. This one's fixed, 4 o'clock-ish. Nice tight pile. That Wilson Combat BCG has been corrected. Okay, so this is the brand new one, never fired. Brand new BCG that I preemptively fixed. We get all these, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, we got all these little black like gnats. I think that's what they are. They're all over the damn place. They're getting all over me. Anyway, this rifle is pretty much identical to the one we just fired with one exception. This is an A2 government profile barrel, not a hybrid. So that's really the only difference. And the fact that that's a marked WC instead of a non-logo. I'm going to fire 1 or 2 rounds. We'll check the brass, make sure the brass looks good, and keep an eye on the ejection pattern on this one too. Okay, brand new rifle, first 2 shots. Let's see where the brass goes. Wow. Okay, I would say, I don't know, what do you guys think, 5 o'clock? Pretty close to each other. Yeah, I'd say close to 5. I'm okay with that. As the rifle gets broke in, less friction or whatever, it'll probably start coming up around 4 o'clock. Let me take a quick look at the brass, see what that looks like. Brass looks good. Primers look good. Nothing unusual. I think we have a good rifle. We're at 10 yards. Just want to make sure we're on paper so I don't blow my stand apart. Forgot to mention when I'm talking about zeroing for the 25 meter standard Army, use a small aperture. At 10 yards, I should be probably close to 2 inches below point of aim. So we're up a little high. We're off a little bit on the windage, but I can already tell this rifle's a shooter. So I'm going to make a couple of windage corrections, and we'll get this out to 25 meters. We're at 25 meters. The size bullseye I'm using, the front sight base, or front sight post I should say, covers up pretty much the whole bullseye, and we also have 68-year-old eyes trying to deal with this. Let's see what we can do. Even if I'm not on a bullseye, so long as I have kind of a semi sort of decent like group, I'll be happy. All right, I'm going to try to take my time a little bit. Yeah, I might have screwed that last one up a little bit. Pretty sure that was my last one. Can't say positively, but I'm pretty sure. I need to come down quite a bit more, so we'll make some adjustments on the front sight post. Okay, I adjusted the front sight. We're going to lower the point of impact. On an A2 front sight post, your up and down movement is about 7/1000ths of an inch per click. All right, let's see if I can get a little closer. Let's go see what happened. Okay, so I'm going to come back up on the front sight post, one click, and I need to go probably to the left about one more click on the windage, and I'm going to call this good. I'm just going to make the rifle adjustments, so we're done for today. Well, this one shot well right out of the box. We got ahead of the game on the Wilson Combat ejector spring issue, and not all that surprised really. I have always had good results with Criterion barrels. My worst one, which is a dissipator style, it's a 16-inch carbine with a rifle length gas system. That one, as far as I can tell, and my shooting ability and barometric pressure of the day and the correct earth rotation, seems to shoot right around 1 MOA. That's my worst Criterion. All the rest of them are just tack drivers. So very happy with this brand new A2 build, and also happy that we got the ejection straightened out on this one. And this one is also a tack driver. So we had a completely successful day for a change. Pete, North Las Vegas. Over and out. Yeah, I'm back for a bonus clip. I forgot to mention that on the Wilson Combat bolt carrier groups, on the M4A1 Retro that I did, and these two rifles, I removed the O-ring off the extractor. And I think that was part of the reason for the ejection pattern today being around between 5 and 4 o'clock. I think if I would have had those O-rings installed on the extractors, it would have been more, 4, 3:30. Anyway, that's my theory. All right, Pete, North Las Vegas, over and out again, for real this time. Everything out here can hurt you.